Sometimes all that is required to make us feel anxious and restless is a casual statement or a casual glance. This can happen even when we are not paying attention. These impulsive answers not only cause our minds to get exhausted, but they also cause us to stray from the path that leads to the tranquility that we are seeking. Stoic philosophy, with its TIESS principles, is said to offer us a way out of a liberation reaction, according to a statement made by Marcus Aurelius. It was once said that the true source of power is in the choices that we make, regardless of the situations that we find ourselves in. This is a profoundly philosophical statement. Take the following example into consideration. You are driving and someone suddenly cuts you off for no apparent reason. The natural response that you might have is either rage or impatience. If you have a mind that has been trained in Stoic philosophy, you have the option to choose an alternative response to the question. You can make the decision to keep your cool, forgive the person who wronged you, and proceed with your journey without letting that insignificant event destroy your day. Suggests that the first step in achieving peace is to cultivate self-awareness and self-control as the first step towards success. Ask yourself, is this reaction really necessary? And look within yourself to find the answer. Is it anything that brings me closer to the principles that I strive to uphold? In addition, it has been established that successful people usually control their feelings and choose how they react to situations. Ingeniously, as we investigate the biography of Nelson Mandela, who was imprisoned for over 3 decades, we find that his ability to maintain his composure and forgive others transformed him into a symbol of freedom and peace, rather than merely a victim of injustice. He became a symbol of freedom and peace as a result of training his mind to forgive, which brought about this transformation. Consider the following scenario. You are standing in a long line at the grocery store, and just as it is getting close to your turn, someone cuts in front of you. You have the choice to respond negatively, allowing yourself to become overcome with anger and disappointment, or you can choose to manage the situation in a calm and reasonable manner. In situations where we are confronted with unfavorable conditions, we have the ability to choose any of these 2 possibilities. Every one of us contains the ability to make a decision, but we often fail to put that ability into practice in the appropriate manner. In spite of the fact that we are aware of our own patience as well as the patience of others, our initial reaction may be anger, a feeling of being disrespected, and the need to immediately react with complaints. However, we should pause for a while, take a deep breath, and ask ourselves why that person behaved in such a manner. One possible explanation is that they are attempting to show respect, but it is also possible that they are dealing with an urgent crisis. Remain blind to the reality that their actions cause other people to experience inconvenience. Whether we choose to respond with wrath and criticism or with compassion and empathy, the question that needs to be answered is how we will handle the situation. Throughout the course of our daily lives, we are constantly confronted with opportunities to select how we will respond to various situations. Not only does the ability to choose affect how we react to certain circumstances, but it also plays a role in the formation of our personalities and the course of our lives. Within each and every one of his teachings, Jesus urged people to make the decision to choose love and compassion. In spite of the fact that he was presented with challenges and hostility, he made the decision to forgive his adversaries and exhibited a stronger capacity for love and compassion. When we are confronted with unjust criticism from a colleague, or when our plans are derailed by unforeseen occurrences, we are faced with the decision of whether or not to wallow in disappointment or to discover ways to transform these situations into opportunities for growth and personal development. In either case, we are faced with the choice of whether or not to wallow in disappointment. Third, the application of awareness in day-to-day life. This is not only the message of Stoic philosophy, but it is also an ageless truth that we may use in order to live a life that is richer in purpose and more complete. Taking the higher way is a path that leads to genuine calm and happiness. Thus, when you are presented with the challenges that life provides, keep in mind that the choice is yours. Choose to respond in a manner that will help to make you proud of yourself. The practice of mindfulness not only enables us to respond rather than react, but it also lays the path for a life that is more balanced and provides us more enjoyment. This is because of the reasons stated above, so that each day is not simply a journey of control and initiative in every action. Number 4, let us pick the route of awareness and wisdom by virtue of the fact that the option is in our hands. In the context of Stoic philosophy, the goal of virtue is to develop a disposition that is open to receiving guidance and instruction. Not only is virtuous behavior a quality that is deserving of praise, but it is also the very core of existence, guiding the human spirit toward a state of tranquility, and we are able to build a reasoned response attitude, which is completely different from spontaneous emotional reactions. With the assistance of the traits of tranquility, this is something that we can do. When viewed from this perspective, virtue is defined as the combination of intellectual capacity and bravery. Having the ability to exercise control over one's sentiments is an essential component of justice and temperance. Each and every situation requires you to reply with composure and reasoning, and you must have complete control over yourself. For the purpose of illustration, let us consider Martin Luther King Jr., who was an exceptional leader during the American Civil Rights Movement. Throughout the entire process, he led the fight for the equality of black people, despite the fact that he faced prejudice and injustice with courage and decency. Them three continue to be faith, hope, and love. The greatest of them is love. But this teaching is in line with the Stoic idea of virtue. St. Paul once declared that these three continue to be faith, hope, and love. Since Jesus and Stoic philosophers held the belief that love and forgiveness are the means by which one might achieve genuine mental tranquility, it follows that non-violence and love are the means by which one can arrive at genuine mental tranquility. Let no man pull you down to the point where you hate him. One of King's most renowned pieces of advice was, "I am happy with my life." When we act with kindness and compassion, we not only nurture our minds, but also create positive changes in others. We can look at Nelson Mandela, who spent 27 years in prison without allowing hatred to take over his heart after being released. Mandela chose to respond to oppression and injustice with forgiveness and reconciliation, becoming a symbol of tolerance and virtue worldwide. He once said, "No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin or background, or the solution lies in the power of conscious self-awareness." When we are confronted with emotional storms as a result of professional conflicts or family problems, self-awareness is a crucial component of Stoic philosophy. It enables us to acquire control over our feelings and actions in life, which is especially important when we are presented with these kinds of situations. A golden moment of self-awareness is when we take a moment to halt, ponder, and ask ourselves questions such as, why do I feel this way? Is this reaction truly essential? And questions like these. Self-awareness is the moment when we halt, ponder, and ask ourselves questions about our feelings, despite the fact that we are frequently quickly carried away by our immediate emotions. Stoic philosophy emphasizes that life is always full of surprises and problems, from things like people losing their jobs and getting sick to emotional scars. Stoics believe that life is full with surprises and challenges. The question, is this within my control, is one that we need to ask ourselves in certain situations. It is important that we do not take it with tranquility, since it will assist us in maintaining our equilibrium and strength to deal with everything. When you look at the life of Jesus, you will see that he endured suffering and difficulties with compassion and love that was not conditional in his heart. If you find yourself in a conflict situation at work, for example, rather than reacting in an explosive manner, take a moment to pause and think about what you want to say. Through the development of our emotional intelligence, we are able to more effectively overcome challenges. According to a statement made by Oprah, she was able to learn how to control her thoughts and turn her traumatic experience into a source of power. The knowledge that love and forgiveness are the primary means by which one can achieve happiness and long-term success in life is something that she has developed over the course of her life. Emotional intelligence not only has the potential to make us more resilient in the face of adversity, but it also gives us the ability to live a life that is meaningful and harmonious, one in which each and every emotion is understood and dealt with in a responsible manner. If you want to live a life that is well-balanced, peaceful, and well-organized, you should enable emotional intelligence to direct your actions. Think about how the other person is feeling and consider what I can do to address the situation in a positive manner. Take into account how the other person is experiencing is the outcome of a training procedure that is not only ongoing, but also persistent when it comes to repetition. It is for this reason that it is necessary for us to acquire the discipline of questioning oneself, particularly when we are presented with conditions that are highly tough. Let us take into consideration the story of Michael Jordan, the renowned basketball player, in order to get a more profound comprehension of the effects that are brought about by consistent practice. For the purpose of gaining a deeper comprehension of the necessity of consistent practice, let us take a look at the story of Michael Jordan, who was kicked out of his high school at one point in his life. Despite the fact that he was on a basketball team, he did not give himself permission to become dejected and instead continued to exercise without stopping. More than 9,000 shots have been missed by me throughout the course of my career, and I have been defeated in nearly 300 games. I have been given the opportunity to make the shot that would win the game on 26 separate occasions, but I have been unsuccessful. I have been unsuccessful on numerous occasions, and that is precisely why I have been successful. His constancy and perseverance in practice helped him achieve the pinnacle of success, transforming failure into inspiration to develop myself on a daily basis, just as Jesus exemplified. By consistently cultivating tranquility, control, and knowledge, Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic philosopher and emperor, demonstrated that our day-to-day thoughts and actions determine who we are. This was demonstrated by the fact that he was able to demonstrate this. It is possible that you will be confronted with a demanding assignment or a disagreeable co-worker at some point throughout the course of your workday. Asking oneself, what can I learn from this situation, is a better way to avoid feeling upset or frustrated than being angered or frustrated. How am I able to make this better? It is essential to keep in mind the importance of liking comments and spreading this concept to your friends and family. In addition, it is essential to keep a watchful eye out for more Stoic teachings that are given at the end of this film. Through our combined efforts, we have the potential to make the world a better place.